Friendships. Friendships form the core of any relationship or any existence, I would say, because these are people you actually choose to have it in your life, and they kind of form the core of most of your equations with people. So I would really urge to have a strong friend circle around you, which acts like your support system and takes you through the thick and thin. Today, in our reading extract, I would like to delve into such equations and the meaning of such equations, which helps us to form a rock solid support system in our life. So, let's not waste any time and straight get into the reading exercise, which I have for you here today, and not to miss the wonderful vocabulary that we will build in the process. Reading is a very important exercise. I would actually advocate that as sincerely as possibly you do your daily activities of brushing, showering, please allocate some time even for reading. I think it's a dying art, and people are not realizing the influence and impact it can have on your life. And through English Excellence with Chhaya, I try to bring to you these reading extracts which I have curated personally so that you can make use of this wonderful opportunity of learning. But yes, we have a wealth of resources available out there. So go ahead, read, pick up a book today. That's possibly the best way to build your language skills. But till then, let's get into the reading extract that I have for you here today. Towering friendships shine brighter than flames. We are most accustomed to relying on our support system, which is our inner circle. Friendship, our allies, amicable relations in any realm of life forms the essence of existence. While it is true for individuals, it is unequivocally, without a shadow of doubt, true for nations as well. Interdependence is a norm of life. Bonhomie makes it seamless to exchange what is available in abundance in one nation and source what is limited in ours. Trust is a given for the longevity of any camaraderie to exist between friends. One thumb rule is never violate trust, and then the friendship can burgeon from strength to strength. Often, when we see that something is massive in its size, possibly because of the height of the individual or the structure, we usually end up saying a very preliminary word, tall. Okay? I really want you to think through what was the word in the extract which indicated tall, but it was a more impressive word to use. In fact, I can give you one hint. It was very much a part of the title of the extract. So go ahead, think and tell me what was the word for tall. Well, if you were being attentive, the word was towering. Okay? Towering, as the word, can be easily understood. It's derived from the word tower, which is a word which is used for tall structures or buildings. So you can use this for structures clearly. You can use this for individuals as well. You can use this for personalities as well. So, for example, Amitabh Bachchan is not just towering in terms of his physical appearance, but also in terms of his personality. When he walks into a room, his towering presence possibly, keeps everyone in awe or wonder about him. So, towering is a word I would highly recommend when find some personality who impresses you. You can definitely use this word. There was one word in the extract which was used for the term used to. Used to means basically you're habituated to something. But there was an interesting term in the extract. Think about it. What was that word? Well, I think you got this right. In fact, the word is so flexible, you can use it in any scenario. Let's try and understand some scenarios. So, the word is accustomed to. Accustomed to means being used to something. So, let's take some examples. I'm accustomed to carry my water bottle around because it's excruciatingly hot these days and it's good to have a sipper cup handy. So basically, accustomed to here was used to. Okay. Or for that matter, people who live outside India, or rather Indians who live outside India, are accustomed to traveling down to their homeland at least once in a year because that way they can stay connected to their roots and their children can stay connected to their roots. So they are accustomed to or habituated to. Why don't you go ahead and try some words or some sentences with the phrase accustomed to? The extract started with the phrase towering friendships shine brighter than flames. I will give you a minute to think about what this phrase means or what this quote means. It's so impressive if you think about it. Towering friendships shine brighter than flames. Think about it. Great. As you thought about it and formed a perspective on the quote or the statement, let me try and give you my two bit on this one. So basically, any friendship becomes a towering friendship or something that you can possibly shout out from the rooftops is essentially when it stands the test of time and it's visible to everyone. It shines brightly. It carries that spark, that flame that people can see. So tall friendships, friendship which kind of stands the test of time, is brighter than any flame that you see. Often in the professional world, we say one word, policy. We need to do this because it is policy. Or we say this is the standard rule or this is the practice, general practice, has to be done. But the paragraph that we read gave you a very interesting term for it. And yes, you can replace that word for policy, standard rule, general practice. But what was that? Well done. You hit the nail on the head. The word was thumb rule. Thumb rule is a word often used for standard practice or something that is common practice. For example, one thumb rule in my house is that we need to have at least one meal together in the week. So that is a standard practice or a thumb rule. In the professional world, wearing your ID cards possibly could be a thumb rule. Your break timings might be defined. So if your break timings are prescribed as possibly 15-minute breaks or 45 minutes break, so that's the thumb rule that that particular organization is following. So thumb rule refers to the standard acceptable parameter or practice. In the paragraph that we read, there were four words in fact which were used instead of the word friendship. If you were reading carefully and mindfully, I'm sure you could at least come up with a couple of them. So think through and tell me what were the words for friendship which were used in the extract. Great. I think you've identified at least a few. Let me take you through them one by one. One of the words was bonhomie. Bonhomie actually is a word which means cordial relations, friendly relations. In fact, it's something that is visible to people. So let's take the example of Russia and China. The bonhomie between Russia and China is palpable, it is visible, it is something that we all can see very, very clearly. So, Russia and China enjoy a bonhomie which is visible. Okay, let's move on to the next word, ally. Ally means friend again. So, ally essentially is a word which you can use in the general context as well as in more professional or serious, platforms. Let's take the example of more general usage. Okay, he is not a very great friend, but I'll definitely call him an ally. Ally means someone who is on your side and you're not really looking at them from the opposite point of view. So let's again go back to nations and their equations. So while Russia and China enjoy great bonhomie, definitely Russia is an ally for India. So there you can understand both the terms more effectively now. Okay. And if I talk about, if I just add USA to this equation, so I can use the word camaraderie. So India and USA enjoy great camaraderie, which means that there is a lot of respect, lot of love, affection, but at the same time all of it boils down to friendship. So US also definitely is an ally, or they enjoy great camaraderie. The fourth one was amicable relations. So it can be used even within, your immediate circle. So for example, I'm not really great friends with my neighbor, but we certainly enjoy amicable relations, which means that, whenever we meet, we possibly greet each other, but we won't really know, what the other person is going through, or, in-depth details about each other. But we enjoy friendly relations, amicable relations. When something is smooth, what exactly is the word in the extract which was indicating smooth? It could be a process flow, it could be equations, it could be even the delivery of your speech, or how an event went by. What was the word for that? It's a very good word, and definitely you can use it in your day to day context. Bang on. I think this one was slightly easier. We have often done this in our earlier lessons as well. The word is seamless. So when the transition from something happens smoothly, you can say it was a seamless transition. Okay? Or for that matter, the event went by seamlessly. Okay? Try some sentences with the word seamless or seamlessly, and definitely make it a part of your vocabulary in place of smooth. If you're enjoying these lessons, trust me, when you become a part of our courses and join us, you will definitely relive these experiences several times higher. So we encourage you to give us a call at our number given here, so that we can help you with what are the courses that are designed for you, and you can pick and choose what works for you. So we have several levels of courses, and we definitely want you to be a part of it, so that you can take your language levels higher than what it currently is at. So, thank you for being a part of our audience, and definitely we want to see you in our classrooms as well. Let's now look at some phrases which were used in the extract for something which leaves you with no doubt. So, think, there were two terms. One was like a phrase, slightly longer. Another one was a word, and it means there was basically no room for doubt. Perfect. Unequivocally and without a shadow of doubt. Without a shadow of doubt means that there is no room for any doubt. You're very, very clear. So, without a shadow of doubt, I'm going to be present for the event, which means that I'm confirming my participation 100% for a particular event when I use the phrase without the shadow of doubt. Okay. Unequivocally is one another word which you can use when you're trying to say something is certain. So, for example, unequivocally, friendship forms the core of most relationships, which means that you're certain friendship is what keeps most relationships alive and kicking. We use words like domain, area, sphere, ambit. There is an interesting word you can use which means all of this, and yet it sounds very different. The word was definitely there to be extra. Think and tell me what it was. Well, if you didn't find it, the word was realm. So, realm means domain or area or sphere or ambit. Basically, this exercise does not fall within my realm. When we are trying to get out of a situation at work, very good phrase to use. Okay? Or I would like to increase my scope of work, or I would like to increase my realm of work. Okay, so your realm of influence, another very interesting phrase to use when you're saying your sphere or area of influence. Your realm of influence defines who you are ultimately as a person or an individual. Through English Excellence with Chhaya, we are constantly seeking to increase our realm of influence, among our viewers. The extract said friendship will grow from strength to strength. But in place of grow, something else was used in the extract. I often recommend it to my learners that you should use this word in place of grow. It sounds very impressive. Yes, I think you got this one. The word was burgeon. Burgeon is a verb. It can be used in the past as burgeoned, in the continuous tense as burgeoning. For example, by watching our videos, in the long term, I'm sure your interest in language is burgeoning, is growing. Or for that matter, after reading his first book, my interest burgeoned, I'm using it in the past tense, my interest burgeoned, and I decided to pick up another book from the same author. So burgeon is basically grow. And in this extract, it was used as friendship will burgeon from strength to strength. Length of. Length of is the word which means that you're trying to say the how detailed it is or how long something is. So let me give you a sentence to explain this. Brian Johnson is trying to increase the length of his life by doing some experimental exercises so that he can live forever. But instead of length of, there was a more impressive word in the paragraph that we read. Think what was that word, and when we repeat this sentence, I'm sure it will sound more interesting. What was the word for length of? Yes, that's correct. Basically, Brian Johnson is trying to increase the longevity of his life through experimental exercises that he's doing. And good luck to him. He wants to live forever. That's his ultimate goal. So, longevity basically means something, in terms of its duration or length. For example, the longevity of our life can be enhanced through great, lifestyle. Basically, exercise, good food, all of these things will increase or enhance longevity of our life. Okay, the longevity of your possibly your singing ability. If you're a great singer, it can be enhanced. Your career in singing can be enhanced, its longevity can be enhanced when you do more riyas. Okay, or possibly you are more popular, so you can have more platforms that you can engage your audience in. So anything that we do, our objective should be to enhance the longevity of that particular thing that we are engaging in. Often we say that the core of something, the main element of something. So, for example, even if you're trying to excel at your language learning, there is a core or main element which will give that much needed boost to your language learning. But right now, my focus is what was the word for that, the core or the main element. There was something used in the paragraph. Yes, the word was essence. Basically, the essence of language learning or enhancing your language skills is practice, practice, and more practice. Absorb everything from your environment to build it in your language through reading, listening, even learning. So go right ahead and sign up with us, and you'll see the world of difference we will make to your language levels. Coming back to the word, the essence essentially means the core or the main element. I watch many shows, and one of them being MasterChef. So the essence that they say of a good cook is basically their love for food and their ability to translate it into a dish. So the word essence is the core or the main element of something. I'm sure you loved this exercise because it actually tests your memory alongside your ability to retain vocabulary and apply it, of course, to learn it as well. So basically, I would advocate that you rewatch these videos because it will help you, gain greater insight into what you're learning and apply it in a more effective manner. So rewatching these videos is definitely the way to go. So go ahead, try the exciting words which you picked up through this lesson in the comment section. I'll be happy to review them and give you my feedback. Happy learning at English Excellence with Chhaya.